Okay, so welcome back, and now we're going to talk about solving simple equations. Okay, so the question is what is an equation? An equation is any algebraic expression where it's any two algebraic expressions that are made equal to each other. Okay, so for example, when I have this expression here, so this is arithmetic, right? So this is not an algebraic expression. So this is just saying that 3 plus 2 equals 5. So what it's saying is that the amount on one side of the equal sign is the same as the amount on the other side. So if I was to add these two together, I'm going to get 5, which gives me a true statement. 5 is equal to 5, right? So if I have x plus 3 is equal to 7, this is a simple equation. So it has an x. This is called the variable, right? And we're saying that x plus 3 is equal to 7, which means this side is equal to this side. Now, the variable doesn't matter. We can use any variable, right? And what is a variable? A variable is something that can take on different values, okay? So this just represents some real number, for example. Now, in this case here, we have another equation, but this has a. Okay, so we could use pretty much any letter we want in the alphabet, capital letters, lowercase letters. A lot of times in application type situations, we use letters that help us remember what they mean, okay? But in general, we usually use X and Y, A, B, C, whatever the case may be, okay? So just realize that it's a variable and it represents some number, okay? Now, when we talk about a solution to an equation, what we're talking about is we want to find the value of the variable that makes the statement. So this is a statement, right? This is what we call a mathematical statement, okay? It's either true or false, okay? Can't be both. And so what we're looking for is the value of the variable that makes this statement true, okay? So what does that mean? We want the value of the variable a in this case that makes this side equal to this side. And whatever value of a in this case that makes that true is called a solution to the equation. Okay? For example, in this case here, the solution to this equation is x equal to 4, right? Because if x equals 4, then guess what? We get we get 4 plus 3, which gives us 7 is equal to 7, which is true. Okay? And that's how we check that we have a solution, that it is indeed a solution. If we plug a value in and we don't get a true statement, we get a false statement, then that value is not a solution. Okay? For example, here we would say, what is the solution? Well, we ask ourselves, what do we need to add to 37 to make it into 58? Okay, and that would be 21. So we would say A equals 21. Right? And so how do we test it? How do we check that? Well, plug it in. See if we get a true statement. So we take 37 plus 21 equals 58. Well, if we add these two, we get 3 plus 2 is 50, plus 7 plus 1 is 8, so we get 58 on the left. We have 58 on the right, and of course that is a true statement. 58 is indeed equal to 58. And so A equal to 21 is the solution, okay? Now, let's do this example here. So again, well, we already did this one, right? And so we know that 4 is a solution, and we can check it, right? Now, here, for B, they tell us that they give us the solution, right? So we're told that x equals 3 is a solution, right? Well, how do we verify that? Well, they're saying x equal to 3. Well, how do we verify whether that is a solution? How do we check that answer? all we have to do is plug in 3 in for x and simplify it and see if we get a true statement. So for example, I'm going to just plug in 3, so I get 3 times 3 minus 9 is equal to 18 minus 7 times 3. Well, what do I get? I get 9 minus 9 equals oh, no, I'm sorry, that's 2. I knew something was wrong. 2 times 3. Sorry, 2 times 3. So this gives me 6 minus 9. Now here I get 18 minus 21. Well, what's 6 minus 9? That's a negative 3. What's 18 minus 21? That's also negative 3. So I get negative 3 is equal to negative 3. That is a true statement. So yes, x equal to 3 is a solution to the equation. Now, here, what about this one? Well, I need to find an x value that makes this true. Well, let's see here. Well, what about 3? Let's test 3. So if I put 3 in here, what happens? I get 3 squared plus 6 equals 5 times 3. Well, this gives me 9 plus 6 equals 15. This gives me 15 equal to 15. It checks. So guess what? 3 is a solution. Now, in this case here, it's not the only solution, right? So there might be more than one solution. Sometimes, like for example, in this case, and in this case, and in this case, and in this case, well, it's the same case. But in all of those 3 cases, there's only one solution. Okay? But here, there's a second solution. So let's see if we can find the other solution. Okay, so 3 worked. What other value will give us a true statement here? Well, let's see. 2 will work, right? So if I plug in 2, I get 2 squared plus 4 equals 5 times 2. Well, guess what? That gives me, oops, hold on. No, changing things again. Okay, so this gives me 4 plus 6 equals 10, which of course gives me 10 equals 10, and that checks. So in this case here, 2 also works. Now those are the only 2 solutions that works in this case. But again, now sometimes there may not be any solutions to the equation. You may have no solution, you may have exactly one solution, you might have many solutions. Okay? So that's how you do it. So now that's the idea of a solution. So we're going to go even further, and we'll get into, okay, well, how do we find the solution? So I know how to check to see whether something is a solution to the equation, but what if I'm asked to find the solutions? How do we do that? That's going to be next. Have a great day.